12 News at 10 starts now.
Now at 10 o'clock, we are following two big stories this Sunday night. First, President Joe Biden ending his bid for a second term, giving his nod to Vice President Kamala Harris. But first, we start with a 12 News weather impact alert. Strong monsoon storms slamming Arizona this afternoon. The storms bringing wind, rain, and dust. Drivers, look at it for yourselves. Getting caught in this dust storm near the Loop 303 in Olive. Some drivers forced to slow down, others making the wiser choice to pull off the freeway completely as visibility dropped dramatically in just seconds. Meanwhile, just down the street from the 12 News studios here on Van Buren in downtown Phoenix, take a look at this. Strong winds uprooting this palm tree. Traffic shut down for a short period just to get it cleared. This is the sound of rain this afternoon in Christopher Creek. Carrie sharing this video with us as storms rolled through that area this afternoon. The big question, what comes next in the coming hours? 12 News has live weather impact team coverage for you tonight. Chase Golightly showing us more of the damage caused by those storms. But first, we start with 12 News meteorologist Stella Sun with a look at where those storms are right now, what you can expect overnight as you sleep and as you head out the door first thing in the morning.
Jonathan, a lot of the thunderstorms and shower activity that we saw in the afternoon and into the dinner time hours, that is starting to taper off. As we show off Doppler radar across the state, you can see here really just light rain showers, even some thunderstorms towards the Arizona-Nevada border and towards the southern portions of the state here. But a lot of that is starting to die down. But we'll take a look at this, at all the rainfall that we got. Most areas got just a trace or even less than a tenth of an inch, but in areas towards blue, so over in the West Valley, that's where they clocked in anywhere from half an inch to an inch and a half. Further north, that's where we really saw that significant rainfall with some of the severe thunderstorms rolling through. So in some of the darker coloring, so the blue indicates half an inch to an inch and a half. Purple indicates an inch and a half to 2.5 inches, and even greater amounts towards the red. But let's get you prepared for tomorrow. So tomorrow afternoon, we are still tracking the potential for some showers and some thunderstorms. I do think it's going to be in the later afternoon and dinner time hours. So what that means for you is download that 12 News weather app and have your check on radar and stay weather aware. We'll bring you the timing of the thunderstorms we're expecting coming up in your full weather forecast.
All right, Stella, we'll see you in a few minutes. Thanks so much. Thousands of folks caught in those storms this afternoon over at Lake Pleasant. Strong waves crashing into several boats. 12 News journalist Chase Golightly continuing our live team weather impact coverage tonight. Chase, you got a chance to talk to some of those boaters impacted and some of those boats now at the bottom of Lake Pleasant tonight.
Jonathan, that's right. And we actually just heard from the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office that told us about 12 boats were either beached or sunk because of today's weather. And they also told us about 30 people had to be rescued from the water. It was not a good day to be out on the water. Boats like this on Lake Pleasant were taking on water after monsoon storms moved in. People on board holding on to whatever they could as the relentless waves crashed into them.
It was just chaos.
Walter Pollard was one of many on Sunday who came out.
Everything was going great until the storm came.
Once that happened, they immediately got to shore. While Pollard says he got their boat out okay, many weren't as lucky.
People started panicking and boats started crashing into each other.
Sharing this video taken on the west side of Lake Pleasant, showing several boats pushed out of the water and scraping against concrete as people tried to figure out what to do.
We got a couple of scratches. There's no doubt about that. I'm trying to help other people out.
But some boats couldn't be saved. Instead, they sunk into the waters of Lake Pleasant.
It was just bad.
Pollard says he saw about 3 boats that had sunk and about 10 that were capsized.
It's going to be a hard cleanup.
Besides the strong winds and waves,
the rain had hail with it, little pellets that hurt,
smacking people as they were trying to find cover.
It was raining hard and it was hitting our face and it hurt.
Leading to the majority of them getting out.
And everybody left.
But others decided to stay, even with lightning nearby.
We don't get no rain in Phoenix, so we're loving it.
Other parts of the valley also hit with strong wind, rain, and lightning, creating dangerous driving conditions. It also created massive dust storms that didn't make drivers' jobs any easier. Pollard also told me that while he was helping other people out, he said a lot of them, it was their first time at the lake and even their first time on a boat. He recommends that if you're going to go and do that, always have a life vest and also be sure to bring someone who has done this before. We're live in Phoenix tonight. Chase Golightly, 12 News.
Such a scary scene, Chase. Good to see that everyone was able to get out the water safely. Thank you. Our other big story this Sunday night, a political shakeup in the race for the White House leading to a historic day here in America. After weeks of pressure, today, President Joe Biden ending his bid for a second term in the White House and is now throwing his support to Vice President Kamala Harris. The move coming just months before the very critical November election. NBC's Kelly O'Donnell tonight has the very latest and what comes next.
Sharp turn for history. As President Biden announced at 1:46 p.m., there would be no last campaign for him. I believe it is in the best interest of my party and the country for me to stand down and to focus solely on fulfilling my duties as president for the remainder of my term. Then, in a separate statement, the president embraced his vice president. I want to offer my full support and endorsement for Kamala to be the nominee of our party this year. A move that attempts to blunt any effort to open the nomination process before the August convention. The president had praised Harris in a press conference that was intended in part to settle doubts about his candidacy.
Look, I wouldn't have picked Vice President Trump to be vice president, but I think she was not qualified to be president. So let's start there.
The vice president offered thanks to the Bidens and made her intentions clear. I will do everything in my power to unite the Democratic Party and unite our nation to defeat Donald Trump. Reaction tonight from former President Barack Obama, who called Joe Biden a patriot of the highest order, describing the decision as a testament to Joe Biden's love of country. Praise from Bill and Hillary Clinton for his extraordinary career of service, while highlighting their worry about the threat posed by a second Trump term. After a half-century of public life, his political brand was forged by being underestimated.
I know, like millions of Americans know, when you get knocked down, you get back up.
The president had tried to save his shot at a second term.
And I would not be running again if I didn't believe with all my heart and soul I can do this job.
But that did not quiet the pressure. After that June debate performance,
Look, if we finally beat Medicare,
an extraordinary rupture followed, a chorus of rejection that grew louder for weeks.
I think a new generation, it's time for a new generation to try to heal the party and heal the country.
The president is not capable of delivering the message in an effective way.
I don't think he should stay in the race.
Kelly O'Donnell reporting for us tonight. If Vice President Harris is indeed chosen as the Democratic nominee, she'll actually need someone to fill her spot on the ticket. Several potential candidates have now been rumored, including Arizona Junior Senator Mark Kelly. 12 News political journalist Bram Resnick shows us why he's on that list.
Arizona Senator Mark Kelly's next mission could propel him to the pinnacle of American politics. But does he have what it takes? Democratic Senator Mark Kelly's personal biography is a huge asset. He's a former space shuttle commander and Navy combat pilot. That could help offset Democratic weaknesses among male voters. Kelly's wife, former Congresswoman Gabby Giffords, is a bona fide hero. The gun safety advocate survived a near-fatal assassination attempt in Tucson.
I've got, congratulations from Republican colleagues, on winning this race.
And Kelly has proved to be a political force in Arizona. He's won 2 Senate races in 3 years in our swing state. Each time he pulled in an astonishing $100 million in donations. But there are questions. Does Kelly have the political muscle to deliver the 11 electoral votes from our must-win state?
The Vice President, Kamala Harris, she doesn't like me.
And how would Kelly fare in a VP nominee's highest stakes mission? A one-on-one debate with Republican J.D. Vance.
I know these guys. J.D. Vance wants a total abortion ban.
Mark Kelly has remained silent on the VP speculation. He did tweet his support for Kamala Harris. I couldn't be more confident that Vice President Kamala Harris is the right person to defeat Donald Trump and lead our country into the future. She has my support for the nomination, and Gabby and I will do everything we can to elect her President of the United States. In Phoenix, Bram Resnick, 12 News.
Governor Katie Hobbs has not yet officially endorsed Kamala Harris for the nomination for president for the Democratic ticket, but she did release a statement today saying in part, quote, President Biden is the embodiment of a public servant. Throughout his career, he has led with integrity, selflessness, and unparalleled empathy. His decision today is a clear reflection of these qualities and his commitment to putting the American people first. I look forward to continuing Arizona's partnership with the Biden administration for the final months of his term, and I know his dedication to moving our state forward remains steadfast.